Hi everyone, it is Lindsay from Rented Space, and thank you for joining me today, this afternoon actually. Please excuse me, I've just got home from work. I ran in, got changed, and I thought I'd come out and do a quick video and just kind of show you what the end of winter, well, the middle of winter is looking like. It's pretty dismal, but it is what it is. So let's get into it. I've got to admit though, it's not a bad view, is it really? I won't take too long because it's already 4:30, so I'll get into the video. Okay, so first up is my chicken coop. So you've sort of seen it all before, but there's our girls, and we have some new ones. Um, Now, our girls are all um, like egg layers. So, and we've also got our 3 boys in there who, funnily enough, do not fight, and they're actually pretty good boys. So, but there is a few more girls inside as well. So that's them. So this is my strawberry. Oh, and some weeds. So this is my strawberry patch. And I have the 4 passion fruit vines in here. Now, please excuse them. It is winter, so they have taken a bit of a beating with the frost. But we've also had some tremendous winds here recently that did also whip my plants around. So they're looking a bit sad. I did have a tarp up here, which you can see some remnants. And that was because of the rain we've had the last few months and the heavy winds. I put it up just to protect the chickens. But on that last winds, it was so bad, it's actually decimated the tarp. So and you can see here I've got lots of broken stems, so I will be coming in soon and putting them in ready, so that once the weather picks up they can take off. This one's doing pretty well actually. Look, she's right up there. This one here is nice and high, so I do have to go along and bring them in and train them so that they're coming up. But the idea is to go up and over so that they do have the a sheltered spot as well. But so there is my strawberries. So I did lose a few when I bought them, but lucky enough, even ones that sort of, let me grab that bit of plastic, ones that did die back pretty harsh are starting to come back, so that's nice. So yeah, one of my compost bins. Now this is my big compost bin that I use for my larger stuff. Our fence that's just about finished, so that's nice. And then look at the girls and boys in there. Okay, we'll excuse the mess of the cars and the washing line. No one needs to see my washing line. So as we just walk through the yard, these IBC tubs do have wood in them. And then I've got some aloe veras in my pots and more aloe veras there. And this is the beginning of my garlic here. So I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these pots, which I have gone through the varieties there in a previous video. Look, more weeds. There's always weeds, isn't there? Can't help myself getting them out. But anyway, so we've had, like I said, some severe frost, so it has hit some of it. But they're looking pretty good. My asparagus bed that's looking sad now that I've chopped it all back. But look at this. That is chilies. That's one of my chili plants, and I have 3 chilies on there at the moment, and as you can see, one is just here is reddening. So not bad considering we're in the middle of July. Now here are just a few others. So some more aloe vera. This is my pineapple. I don't have a greenhouse, so I couldn't do that, but she's actually faring up quite well. Some more, look, pots of broken up for the fire. Sorry. This is one of my Audi garden beds with greenhouses that I also did a video on recently. And in there, I'm not going to open it all the way, but that's where we're keeping our sticks at the moment, just to keep it dry. Hang on a minute. So we just keep it in there to keep it dry and out of the way. These are some of my tubs for the chicken food and things that I keep outside. Excuse my decorations that are in the way. Now this here, besides the weeds, which I will take out because I don't want them in there. This is actually a plant that's self-seeded in my garden, and where it was right near pipes. And as anyone who knows, our lovely native gums and eucalypts and things like that, they always have decent roots. So right up against the house it was, which is why it's on a bit of a funny lean. So I've dug that out and I've put it in a pot, and I will put it in a bigger pot soon as well, but I just needed to give it some space. Now I do have some plants here that the kangaroos and the bunnies have kind of attacked, but also the frost. I do need to get them into proper garden beds, but at the moment I'm just trying to get some decent soil up. But you can see the frost has really hit them, and a bit of neglect on my part too. So this one here is is a blueberry. My other blueberry, and then these two here are my catnip for the cats. So I'll get them in. Excuse the mess. I've got the cardboard killing some weeds here. So I do have my bathtub with garlic in it. Now I do have on order some more asparagus. So this bed, once my garlic's pulled, will be more asparagus. But that's my aim, is to have this big bed as like my 2 baths as asparagus. Purely because they're easier to kind of, well, this one's not, it's heavy. She's heavy as, but that one over there is quite easy to move. But being renters for moving, we can take them. Now this here is one of my mulberry. Sorry, no, this is not a mulberry. This is one of my raspberry canes that, between the rabbits, you can sort of see slugs, and the frost has kind of, it's looking a bit sad at the moment, but it's not too bad. And this here is isn't that awful? My brain's completely, it is one of those fruits that nobody ever wants. It'll come to me. What are they? I don't know. Anyway, it's one of those plants. This thing is actually going so, like, it keeps dying back and then comes back, so I haven't killed it yet. And then there is another one of my plants that's a native plum. Some more garlic. Now I'm going to show you, excuse my gumboots. Look at this. So this here is from the Diggers Club, and it's a red hot curry chili. But look at this. The middle of July, people. Middle of July. So this here is climbing jasmine, and this is actually my mum. So my mum passed away 20 years ago now, and but this is in memory of my mum. She loved her jasmines, and she never wanted to be sitting on a pot somewhere, like on a. She wanted to be cremated, but she never wanted to be put like on a mantelpiece. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get up there, and she's really taken over. But my mum would love that. So she's looking quite pretty at the moment. Just some of my art, my garden art that needs actually a nicer home. My very messy potting station that is absolutely a mess. Okay, so this is a mess too, but this is why, because of the winds, I've had to put them in here and then just dump stuff on them to hold them down, because the winds the other week were ridiculous. So I have some more aloe veras, some homegrown cuttings of rosemary. So basically these ones here started off as just cuttings, and then they've gotten bigger, and then this is my next lot of cuttings, and I'm actually about to start some more. Then I have some rosemary here and some more rosemary here again. This little trellis here, and my grapevine, which is looking pretty sad at the moment purely because of winter, but I'm about to get her back up and running again. She kind of went down when we moved, and then I've managed to bring her back, but I need to finish making her trellis. It's just getting the time to do it. My husband's got his tools out because he's been working, but my beautiful cable barrel that I got free from work, so I really love that. And I don't know, hubby, well, Jamie was like, what colour are you going to paint it? But I'm thinking, I like it like that. I might just stain it or leave it. I don't know, I really like the way it looks. I like that rustic industrial look. Some more plants, a couple more chilies, some more of my cuttings. I have some lavenders around somewhere as well as some more rosemary. I'm always propagating. There's all my elderberries ready to be planted in bigger pots, and some are from friends as well. Some of my pumpkins off my vine. Now this one here got damaged, but I've turned it upside down. It's going to be chicken food, but so yeah. Look, some more plants that were just I found growing in odd spots. So I've potted them up, and when I did, clearly the soil had some tomato seeds, and middle of July I have a self-seeded tomato plant. It's going here and it hasn't been hit by the frost. So I'm not really sure why or how, but it's surviving at the moment. Here is one of my wheelbarrows in the beautiful yellow. And this is one of my rhubarb barrows. So again, you can see just how bad, like, the frost has taken this poor darling out. But it's all right. My Mr. Stackies that I've actually emptied. This one was my turmeric, and I had help with that one. I didn't actually want it dumped on the ground, but I'll get the soil out anyway. But so my Mr. Stackies ready to fill other pots, and then I can refill them in the spring. My very sad looking mint, my sad horrible looking lemon that was planted from seed. So obviously spring onions, and these are actually pawpaws, but they're just not looking good. I don't know, they need to be potted up, but we'll see. Another one of my wheelbarrows with my rhubarbs. This goes to show how bad the wind was the other week. This frangipani actually held off pretty well, but this one was literally stripped of every single leaf in the wind. So I think it must have really come up here and then some more cuttings that I have. I literally just, see, there's all the leaves there. I just leave them on there for mulch, but I literally would just like break a piece like this off, stick it in the ground, and then I get new babies. So being renters and the fact that I'm putting in some garden beds along the driveway and things, this is what I'm using. These here are going to be coming up in an upcoming video. These are dryer barrels. Gone a bit fuzzy. So these are my dryer barrels, and I'm going to use them as new planters. So that is a video coming up soon. Here are my 2 in-ground beds, like raised in-ground beds. So I made these. They weren't here when we moved in, but obviously this is my garlic. These are what we cut off the IBC tubs for the wood, and I'm just using them to stop the kangaroos bouncing up and down here. I did have this sitting over, but it's kind of knocked back again. But this here is as well for another one to stop the kangaroos. But I've also got snow peas coming up. They didn't grow when I planted them earlier, and now they're starting to grow. We had like a couple of really nice warm days, and things that shouldn't be growing are growing, but the things that should have grown didn't grow. So another one of my passion fruits. This is my daughter's old bed frame, and then as you can see, the frost hit this one like these pretty hard, but this I'm actually letting dry off. So got a few on there, but I need to extend this out so that I have a larger so it has a larger trellis. But it's getting star pickets. They're very expensive. One of my chilies that's just been decimated, but that's okay. So look, these were planted ages and ages ago. 1 week of some sunshine and up they come. Same as this one here. Another one of my passion fruits. It loves that bag. My olive that's been taken out by the rabbits and the kangaroos. My other olive that's been taken out by the kangaroos and the rabbits. My very sad looking avocado. I don't know. I don't know if it's just that she needs a bigger pot, or she was going well and then she got knocked over, and then I've replanted her and she was looking good again, but now she's looking sad. Anyone have any ideas on what to do? I've never actually successfully grown an avocado before, so she's my first one. But if you have any ideas. One of my figs. This is one of my newer fruit trees. So this is a Santa Rose plum. I got that on sale. Another one of my fruit trees, and my tags disappeared, so I can't remember. Hang on, if this is, well, this is my nectarine, so that's my cherry. There you go. I do know what that is. That's my cherry, and she has nothing. And then my nectarine. This is a capsicum that's finally died, and I will be actually putting that in the compost and redoing that using that soil. One of my other figs, she's looking a bit sad. And then another one of my figs. And the poor things were absolutely drowned. Like all my plants have been. Yeah, it's just really hard. All my plants with the water that we've had have just been drowned and drowned. And then and now, you know, we're in winter and they're just continuing that route. So nothing in my garden looks particularly nice at the moment. Sorry, sunset. Looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's my sad looking garden. It's very messy and a bit yucky looking. So please excuse the mess and the rubbish, but you know, I'm trying my best to get this place up and running and getting it as nice as I can, but using as much recycled stuff. And I don't use chemicals, so it's all organic. So, you know, the cardboard on the ground to kill the weeds and things like that. I use what I can, and I don't want to do anything with the animals. I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt them. So I have different means to keep them out. Once our fencing is fully finished, it'll make a big difference. But for now, they're still getting in through just the wire. We're putting chicken wire right around, right up the, I think they're about 5 foot, the fences. So once the wire goes up, like the mesh goes up, it'll be harder for everything to get in. But okay, well, I'm going to cut this video off purely because, as you can see, it is getting quite dark now. And thank you very much for joining me on this very quick and short garden tour. But I hope this video finds you all well. And if you have any answers to any of my questions, I'd really greatly appreciate it. I've never really grown a lot of fruit before, so fruit is definitely something I'm learning on. So any advice you've got, I would greatly take on. Thank you. Bye.